Who's Talking Sundowns. I've got my man Grant de Smidt with me and the legend himself, Shakes Ngwenya. We love it that you're subscribing and helping us get to 50K subscribers. We are racing to 50K. We're about 2,000 away. We love it. But over 70% of you guys that have joined this community, welcome, welcome. You are new to the community. We've got other interactive features. Like the video in the corner. Like the video, it contributes a lot to our engagement, and it tells YouTube that we are doing well, and we've got you involved in our content. Also, leave us a comment. Feel free to leave us a comment. It counts a lot also, because it helps us not only get ideas and connect with you, but it also tells YouTube that we are doing the right thing. We are delivering the right message to you. So do let us know. Even if we do miss, put the thumbs down. Also, leave a comment and let us know. No, I don't like what you brought to the table, guys. This is what you should be saying. So we in this journey with you guys. And right now, for me, I brought these guys and I said, Sundowns have got this bucket loads of money, guys. Bucket loads of money that they've always had. But now they've earned even more from the FIFA Club World Cup. They've got top quality players. But this FIFA Club World Cup showed that they've got weaknesses that they've got, right? And they've now got this war chest of money to use to fix those mistakes. Yeah? Grant, Shakes, I need you to help the viewers navigate how this money should be spent, to make the team stronger and to bring the trophies that the team is supposed to bring. Grant, let me start with you because I know where Shakes is going to go. What is the most urgent position to attend to with this bucket loads of cash?
Yeah, it's difficult with Sundowns. They never often have done that. There's not one position where you think they're weak, they need to bring in players. I think there's 3 or 4 areas that they could look to strengthen. I think maybe if I had to go for my number one, I'd say that left centre-back position because, they've got Musulabusa. He did very well last season. He's a great character, a big leader, very good in the air, but he's getting on in age now. And I think also with the way Mateus Suarez's loan went a bit south towards the end, they decided not to sign the Argentine permanently. I think there's clearly a gap in the squad there. Keanu Cupido was playing in the Club World Cup, and he's not a left-footed left centre-back. So I think that is the one area they could be looking at. It's difficult to find that right player. I mean, you see they got Suarez because they were watching another player and they saw Suarez, they ended up getting him on loan. So that's probably my number one position, and I don't have a good answer of who they should get there because I think that centre-back area is still a bit up in the air. Grant is getting on in age a bit. I don't think Miguel Cardoso rates Mvala that highly. Cupido's only just come into the picture now after not really playing after his signing. I know he had injuries, but it's still a factor. And then, of course, Malibongwe Prince Khoza, he's young and he's a massive talent, but he wasn't trusted in the Club World Cup. They didn't put him on display. They didn't let him come up against these big teams. So there might still be that bit of question mark there. But there are other areas as well, left back and others that we will probably discuss.
Shakes, you hear that about the team. You've spoken a lot about the defensive fragilities in the team, right? There's weaknesses, there's disjoint. Grant has highlighted a specialist might be needed at left centre back. You've highlighted all of this, Shaggy. It's not the first time you're hearing it. Now that you hear from Grant, speaking about each and everyone's strength and weakness, age, whatever it is, Grant Kekana, that's the weakness. Khoza, all the guys. What does that tell you about the situation at the back?
Yeah, Umjaka, I've always said it at the back. I'm not too happy. I was never too happy with the Libusa, Grant as well. We're always giving away goals there at the back, But on the other side, with Khoza, I think he's one youngster that needs to be given an opportunity, I think every time he's been given that opportunity, he's raised his hand and shown that he can play that position, even though you could see that Cardoso maybe didn't want to put so much weight on the youngster's shoulders. But I think coming into this season, he's one that needs to be given an opportunity.
Yeah, I think I'd say the same. I mean, Basadien, he's probably one of the best defenders in the PSL last season. He got double figures for goals and assists. I know they played a lot of matches with with CAF Confederations Cup. But he can score goals and he can assist goals, and he's different to Modiba. Modiba inverts, he comes into the midfield there, doesn't necessarily get on the overlap so much. And I think with an attacking left back, with the left wingers that Sundowns have often coming, right footers coming inside the pitch, Basadien will add another element to the team on that position. Usually Sundowns sign some of the PSL's best players from the previous season. Of course, they sometimes sign hidden gems. Mudau, no one thought would be as good as he was, but often it's the players that really excelling, like a Reyners or Jaden Adams they got in January. So I think Basadien is an obvious one. We know Stellenbosch didn't want to sell a year ago, but they probably would sell now. So if you could get I don't know exactly what fee, but let's say 15 million or something would probably get him to the door. He's at his peak. And then you mentioned, of course, Lunga is not. He's a good defender. He had a reasonable Club World Cup, but I think the fact that he played showed that Modiba is not trusted defensively, because you would have played Modiba then in these big games, and he played Lunga instead. So I think, that could be a question mark, and it seems like Basadien's too expensive for Chiefs to go for. So Sundowns should step in.
So here we are, Gemshege. We've talked about, what needs to be fixed with the money. Some of the players impressed at that Club World Cup, they'll be the talk of the town. Ribeiro is one of those names. A lot of clubs are obviously impressed, and we are obviously impressed as well as South Africans with what we saw. Those clubs are going to come knocking. What is Sundowns supposed to do in this situation now, Mshege? Because it's a different ball game. Usually, we are the big boys that say no, we can't sell. We won't sell to anybody. But now the big boys are also coming to us, and we sort of have to be a little bit flexible somewhere.
Yeah, definitely, Umjaka. Ribeiro is one of the standout players in this whole Club World Cup, but never mind just for Sundowns, I'm sure he's going to get interest from big teams, and that's what we want. Sundowns always wanted that, the players to go for the right prices from Sundowns, and yeah, that's why you play these big competitions. You want to expose your players, to the greatest stage in the world. So definitely, I think it's a good thing. Ribeiro did well, and he marketed himself, and there'll be interest for him. And it would be good to see him go to one of the top teams in the world, and that's also going to bring in now more money for Sundowns, in order for them to go out again in the market and find other gems similar to Ribeiro. But for me, if Ribeiro leaves, Jaga, I think we have options. We have quality players like Mayema, who can come in and also fill in there, and give something, given the opportunity. And they're young players as well. Mayema's a young player. And you've also got Mabena, who's another one that needs an opportunity, is a quality player. We all know him from the School of Excellence. Every time he's also been given a chance in the past seasons, he shows his confidence, and what he can do, So I think the more he gets an opportunity, is the more he'll rise to the right quality. But it's a great headache to have, when one of your best players is being looked at by the best teams in the world, and it's more money, and then it gives you more options, also on the market. Yeah.
I think it's difficult, because if they hold on to Ribeiro now, if they get offers, they get maybe, say, €2 million offer, and they hold on to him, I think some players from other clubs will see that and say, yes, Sundowns is a good club to go to, but I'm going to be a bit stuck there. Like, I'm going to be priced out of a move. So there's a bit of they can kind of set a trend here if they do keep him or don't keep him. I think it's true what Shakes says. There are quality players in the squad who can come into the mix. But having said that, they left Cody Sung behind during the Club World Cup, so they're definitely not convinced by him. Tapelo Maseko, they're trying to sell to Europe, and they haven't really been using him as a winger that often. Often down the middle, they've been using his speed, so they're clearly not certain about him either. They could play narrow wingers, like Zwane could play a bit narrow, or they could play Shodalida down the right. He's done that job, but it's really not ideal. I think if Ribeiro goes, they're going to have to replace him with a big name player, and then it becomes difficult, because you want to probably bring in a left-footed right winger, because you want to kind of replace that dynamic. So then it's difficult. Do you look at someone like Percy Tau, who they're maybe not looking at now, but they might have to say, you know what, we need experience. We can't have this drop-off from Ribeiro to maybe an internal replacement. We need someone who can literally land the first day and deliver. Or I thought someone also like maybe Elias Mokwana, who's been doing well in North Africa. He might consider a move back. They can afford his fee to get him out of to get him out of his club. That type of signing might have to come in to make a difference. It's difficult because the other wingers like Apollos and those guys, they bet on the left, and Matthews is bet on the left as well. So they get a big hole in their squad there if Ribeiro goes. But it's a tough one. Someone's going to have to spend probably how much? Maybe 80 to 100 million rand to make Sundowns really think about it. And if no one does that, you might end up with a player that's a bit disgruntled as well, that he's been forced to stay. So there's a lot of balancing act here for Sundowns to work through.
It's a brand new space to be playing in. And I think that brings its own new challenges, you know. We added a sporting director because of this situation, because of growth. You know, maybe this is another sign of there's maybe another addition or a different thing that needs to happen in the team. A good headache, as we said, Grant, a good headache to have because it challenges the structure of the club because of where it's going. You're no longer playing in the small tank, for lack of a better word. You know, the world has become so much bigger, and the conversation that Sundowns is in a lot more bigger now from what you guys are saying. So do let us know in the comments. You agree with the guys, Grant, Shakes, with what they said? You know, bigger issues, bigger players, bigger money, bigger everything for Sundowns this season. What will be the final decision? We'll have to know. But Shakes and Grant have shared their views. We hope you agree or disagree. Let us know in the comments. Afetu, we appreciate your time. Thank you, Grant. Thank you, Shakes. Let the beat do the talking.